I'm head of IT for Imagination, which is a marketing communications agency based in London. And we have presence now in 14 locations across the globe, soon to be 17 if the head of the Asia business has its way, as we see incredible growth out in Asia Pac. 2010 was the year that we went into the cloud. Top of the agenda there was moving on to Google Apps. We have now in the order of about 600 people at any given time using Google for core collaboration services of email, calendar, contacts management, increasingly chat, video chat, and then also increasingly now into Google Docs. And we're seeing some really interesting changes in the way in which our global organisation is able to operate, particularly through the ability to have multi-authored documents. So more than one person can access the same thing at the same time, and you don't end up with file sharing violations or any of that sort of stuff. Allied to that, we have moved a number of our infrastructural services out to Amazon Web Services. We have put all of our web hosting out there, both that we do for ourselves and also that we do for our clients, where occasionally we do have to set up the odd website for them. And then we've also put BlackBerry up there. I think BlackBerry is an interesting. The RIM infrastructure is it's sort of a public-private cloud in a way. RIM have built their business around having a private network that is secure and able to be delivered anywhere in the world. It's so secure that a number of governments want to ban it. For a company like ours, where a third of our people are almost always overseas and another third are regularly travelling overseas, it's the only way to deliver cost-effective international data. We push all of our data through the BlackBerry services to be able to connect through to Google and other things. By moving to BlackBerry, we took about £125,000 out of our bill, or half of it, by getting rid of iPhones and Windows phones and other things which were using open data overseas. I think that's a real challenge going forward as we see increasing pressure for better devices, and I'll talk about that in a minute. It's possibly one of my most interesting career challenges to take away an iPhone from a head of creative for a global marketing company. He talks to me occasionally. So that's 2010. 2011, the interesting stuff going forward. By the way, I know it's another picture of clouds. That was actually the one that I took on my own holiday. And it's kind of nice because I can think about things like holidays now because I don't have a whole load of infrastructural nonsense to worry about because it's somebody else's problem, which is nice. 2011 is about starting to understand what won't go into the cloud. We saw from Andrew earlier maybe some thinking about what can go, what can't go. I've taken the view that actually everything should be there, and then it's got to be a really good reason why it shouldn't be. And the one thing as a creative organisation that we have challenge with is what I call fat content. I don't know what the sorts of data challenges that you guys have. I've got about 200 permanent staff working in London that I service, not in my team. And we probably at any given time have about 50 terabytes of live data. I remember working in big corporates before I joined Imagination where people would be given 500 meg limits of all the data they could have possibly. We've got 500 gig per person on average. That doesn't work in the cloud. I wish I could get some of the processing that we need to do up into cloud services. I wish I could do 3D renders to do beautiful fly-throughs or car adverts. All car adverts are computer generated, more or less. Didn't know that, look next time. But it's difficult because I could get the processing in the cloud, but then I'd end up with gigabytes of file, hundreds of gigabytes of file that I can't get back down again. So we're tied very much with content to machines and data and processing power locally, and I don't see that really changing much in the next few years because for every time that the cloud services get better, the requirements of the creative community get higher. We're often using Red camera now, which is a video camera that shoots at 4,000 line definition. In raw format, that chucks out 42 meg a second. So that's 20 seconds equals one old CD-ROM. Think about a feature film, and it's big data problems. That aside, I think the next challenges that we face are a combination of the increasing consumerisation of technology and mobile. And I think these two things are kind of intertwined, and I think that actually increasing consumerisation is mostly being driven by mobile. As an analogy on this, electric motors aren't something that get very much conversation. I don't know the last time you thought about electric motors. I'm sure 100 years ago there would have been conferences organised by people like Emma with people like, I don't know, Edison are turning up talking about the wonders of the electric motor. This electric motor is going to change the world. And then people outside of it thinking, what the hell are these strange people talking about? We never talk about electric motors. Next time that you sit down at your desk, count up how many surround you. I did it at my home office a few weeks ago. I was amazed. I think I got to 18. They're all over the place, but we don't think about them. And I think we're just at the start of that with IT, which is bad news because in about 20 years' time, nobody will think about it anymore because it will become ubiquitous and we just won't think in terms of the way in which IT people have done for the last 50 years. What that leads to, though, is some real challenges. It leads to challenges with people saying, why can't I get access to all this project data that I need to access on my iPad when I'm sitting in Sydney? I said, well, because it's 400 gig. Yeah, but I can do YouTube. Now, this is industry specific to the sorts of stuff that we do, but these are the sorts of challenges that we are going to be put under because actually if we don't provide services that are able to deliver to what our clients and our customers need, i.e. the people we're paid to do the job for, they'll just go and find somewhere else of doing it. How many people here have got Twitter accounts? Half, maybe. How many people regularly use their Twitter account? 10%, if that. How many people have actually done business through Twitter? About 2. People in your organisations are doing that. And that's what the consumerisation thing means. It means where actually IT is just a sort of electric motor thing. People won't talk about it anymore. So that's the challenges I think we've got ahead. Imagination. I imagine some of the challenges that you guys will have ahead into the future as well. Grab me after while we're drinking for any conversation, I guess. Thank you very much.